Hey Cal, this video would have come sooner, but as soon as I got home from California, all I really wanted to do was... Plus I wasn't really sure how to talk about it, so I made sort of a highlight reel of what I did in California. Some things I have videos of, some things I don't, so it'll sort of come and go. My trip started with a bus to Chicago and then a train to LA, where I hung out on the Santa Monica Pier and watched some street performers, including watching this guy flip over these people. That night I went on a pub crawl sponsored by the hostel that I was staying at, where I met Larissa from Brazil and Jitan from New York. And after deciding that we weren't going to stay out for the entire pub crawl, we found ourselves on the Santa Monica beach at 2:30 in the morning, where we were the only ones who got to listen to the waves crash on the shore, which was really cool. In the morning I hopped a train to Anaheim, where thanks to this Nerdfighter pin that you gave me, I met Lauren on the train, who was also going to Vidcon. We had lunch at a two-story IHOP, I started counting Pizza John shirts, and then we went to registration to get our free stuff. After that I went back to my hotel, where I met my roommates Christina, Teresa, and Johnny, who I had met over the internet and had no idea who they were ahead of time. They turned out to be a lot of fun. That night we all got to experience In-N-Out burgers for the first time, which I didn't really think lived up to the hype. The next morning I recorded an authentic Thoughts from Places teeth brushing video before I remembered who my audience was, and then VidCon. The day started with a friendly good morning to John. And then the panels begin. At the Vlogbrothers meet and greet, John ran around showing everyone pictures of Alice on his phone while Hank tried to get the attention of the crowd unsuccessfully, and then John answered questions in kitty ears. Then Charlie talked about his short film and what he's got planned for the future, and I went to a panel called Less Than Famous about YouTubers who don't have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And then it was time for the concert series, involving a whole bunch of talented musicians that I hadn't actually heard of before that night. And, of course, Hank Green.
Ooh, it's on! It's VidCon, guys!
Also, We the Kings shot some footage to use for a music video. And here's more Hank, because Hank.
Joined together in two different ways. Baryons and basic bubbles instantly decay. If a part of the last three quarks, then it's a baryon. If there's one quark and an empty quark, then it is a meson.
The next day I watched a Harry Potter dance-off. Whatever this was. Somewhat unnecessary performance of Friday by Rebecca Black. Picked up Story Wars, a panel on whether or not living in LA is really all that important in today's YouTube. Shot part of a documentary.
Needs to point their camera at Shay.
Took a live human test with Zay Frank.
Ever tried to shut down your computer to stop a message from being sent?
And fell victim to what may have been the most elaborate rickroll of all time. Then more music at the concert series, including Nice Peter. Live epic rap battles, and Driftless Pony Club, and Watsky. Both of whom were in Madison this year, and I missed them because I didn't find out in time. Watsky in particular was an awesome show, and then just like that, it was over, and I was back on a train headed home. So yeah, I had a great time, I met lots of cool people. Once I got home, it sort of felt like I never actually went. It was so fast and there was always something going on, and then suddenly everything's normal again, you know? It's kind of weird. Maybe the best thing about VidCon was it really made the internet feel real. It made doing stuff like this feel a lot more worthwhile because you got to see the effects of it. You got to see people whose lives were dramatically changed because a couple times a week they decided to sit down in front of a camera. So yeah, it was very fun, it was very motivating. I learned a lot, I got to see a lot of really cool things. I'm really glad I went. I hope that sometime you can make it.
I was just telling Hank that the great thing about VidCon is that the days last twice as long because you never sleep.